Hey folks, and welcome back to, well, I'll just say welcome to Happy Pattaya. This is over 2 years ago. I'll explain kind of what I'm doing and how this all came about, but to kind of show you what's going on, like this right up here, this Archon curve, that's what it looks like today. And then we'll look at back at the better times, remember the better times. But anyway, I'll explain how I got into this. Let's jump into it.
I thought we'd do something a little bit fun today. I'll tell you kind of what brought that about. There's enough doom and gloom right now. We could take a break from that for a second at least, I guess. But there's an old expression that goes something to the effect of, if you don't remember history, you're doomed to repeat it. Well, some of the history here, I wouldn't mind repeating right about now. And the other day, I'll tell you what happened. I was going through some very old files, some folders, and cleaning up a hard drive. Anyway, I found some old footage that I had, never used it on videos, I don't believe. And it's from like 2 years ago, over 2 years ago, which means it's like from a year, basically from a year before any of this even started. It kind of cheered me up a little bit. I felt good after watching it. I thought, you know what, maybe let's remember the good times for a minute. Maybe it'll cheer somebody else up a little bit too. Before we really jump into this, I'm going to give you the same opportunity I had. I'm just going to give you maybe a minute or two, raw, unedited footage with the sights, the sounds. I'll go ahead and shut up for a minute and just let you see the raw footage as it was taken. And that's what kind of immersed me in it. And maybe you'll feel just for a minute like you're on the streets of Pattaya 2 years ago. So it's going to be a short one, just between Soy Buakhao, Soy Honey, where we are right now, up around the corner to Soy Chayapum by the Triangle Bar. But on just an average Pattaya evening, before any of this started, just in the raw. That's where we ended up, right behind me, just beyond the Triangle Bar. Keep in mind, that was, I'm pretty sure it was during a low season. I think May or June of 2019. So, just a regular night during low season, but I tell you, even that sounds pretty darn good right about now. So what I think we do is we'll start on some of the daytime streets, and we'll go back down to the middle of the beach. There's a couple of the soys right in the middle of the beach, 6, 7, 8, something like that. And we'll take a look. I know the difference is much more stark at nighttime, but you'd be surprised even during the day. It's a pretty big difference from 2 years ago till now. So let's go back and look, and we'll juxtapose some of the present day and old footage on some of the popular beach road soys. We'll take a look at that, and then we'll go around at night as well. Don't worry about that.
So welcome to Beach Road, and we'll start with soy 8, modern current day soy 8, and I'll try to line this up and go back in time as we travel up here to some of the older footage. The older footage isn't that great quality wise, but I think you get the idea. This one, soy 8, soy 7 aren't really daytime soys, but they really come alive in the evening. But there's still plenty going on in the late afternoon. Businesses opening, and it has a certain flair, and had a certain flair and ambience, even like I said, in the late afternoon. So we'll go down soy 7. That's a long time favorite. Nothing going on right now, that's for sure. But not so much a couple years ago. It looked like a pretty good time, even during a low season, even during an off time when everything's not even open yet. Still looked pretty good. But now, not so much. Well, hopefully it comes back. There's a lot of debate about soy 7 right now, and if it's seen its day, and maybe we'll never come back. But everything's still here. All they need is the customers, the employees, and all that put together will equal a good time again, I hope. Anyway, right now, we still got a long way before we can get there. But we'll finish up on soy 7, especially down here at the end, right here between soy 7 and soy 8, right on Beach Road, always packed, day or night, these kind of places. But now, there you go. So anyway, we'll go up a little bit farther. We'll start on soy 6-1 on the top side. We'll get to soy 6 next. But soy 6-1, not a busy soy at all. But same thing, I'll kind of put some old with some new here. And even here on a non-busy soy, more of an alley, I wouldn't even call it a soy, still looks a lot better 2 years ago than it does today. Some of this I didn't even recognize. Been a lot of coats of paint put on, or I don't know, maybe some overgrowth. It was hard lining up some of this footage because it didn't match up. I think some of the storefronts have changed a little bit, as you'll see here, but I matched it up the best I could as we ride up here. So I think this place is even gone. I couldn't even find that on today's footage, so it is what it is. But anyway, we'll round the corner here and we'll go down soy 6 proper. Now, that one is known as a daytime or afternoon street, so the difference here, I would say, will be as stark as night. Even though it's busy down here after dark as well, very busy soy. Even in the daytime, you cruise down here and there's always something going on, I guess from about 1 o'clock onwards. But I guess it's probably 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon during both of these. I tried to match it up about the same time of day, but I don't know exactly what time the old footage was taken, but it looks like it's around sunset, so that's what I tried to do. Different times of year, maybe. I think this might even be older. This might be February or March of 2019, so some of it older than others, but I just put it together the best I could. This is one of those things that I enjoyed doing at first. Once I got into it, I said, wow, this was pretty hard working with all this old footage and trying to get it to all line up, and one of those things I almost wish I hadn't got into once I started.
So, see, you can see clearly during the day the difference, but it's ever so much more evident at night. That's what we'll look at next. This place behind me, the Avenue, this was really the first big center of activity, beehive of activity I would see when I would come into Pattaya from Jom Tien. Once you cross Pattaya Thai, you're basically in central Pattaya. but there was never much going on until I got here. And you can see it's lit up like a Christmas tree out here. Vendors, shops, cocktail vans, you name it, there's always something. And it just felt like that was, to me, kind of like the official welcoming point of Pattaya. And it was also right around here where the traffic would start, because farther down on Second Road here, it was pretty easy sailing. But once you got here, you generally had to hit your brakes for the buses and the whatever, just the hordes of traffic and people crossing the road and the crosswalks and stuff like that. So I guess no trip into central Pattaya, for me anyway, back then, would have been complete without a trip down to Beach Road. It was always something going on down there. It was always a little bit cooler, felt a little bit cooler down by the beach, maybe a little bit of a breeze, always something to look at. And despite the traffic, I would go anyway. And sometimes, believe me, the traffic would be insufferable. Between the buses, the songtals, the peddlers, all the food carts, the mobile food cart samlos, the traffic could be incessant. But now, not so much. I guess that's one thing that is better right now, no traffic, and the pollution that goes along with that, all the diesel engines from the buses and everything else. So one thing I was thinking about along those lines, it might make more sense, it might have made more sense for the long-term health benefits to wear a mask then than right now. Think about that for a minute. And of course, I guess the eventual culmination of any beach road trip could potentially be a quick view at Walking Street, or you could stop by. Now, Walking Street was just that back then. This riding on Walking Street's a new concept, and if I was a betting person, I would bet there'll come a day where that ends. And where that ends and it goes back to being purely a walking street again. Right now, it's different times, it calls for different measures, I understand that, but it used to be you couldn't ride on Walking Street, and I think that'll come back. I'm pretty sure that'll come back. But there you go, a little look at the Walking Street before and after. I tell you what, we'll wait for it to get dark, we'll go back up to Soy Bacau and take a ride around, and maybe one last look at the good times without any of the bad, just the good.
There you go, a little look back, remembering the good days, the good times, in what might be her darkest hour right now. That remains to be seen. I don't know that we've hit bottom yet. I did see, I tell you, the other night, I was out at Tree Town, though, in Soy Bacau, just right up here, right where we're riding by right now. And off here to the right, they had put up a bunch of little stalls with little white awnings. They're still set up there, and they're little shops, I guess. It's like not a street fair or anything, but it does add something. The last couple evenings down there has been a little bit better than normal, so that was nice to see. It's still going on if you're in town and don't know about it, but anyway, hope you enjoyed the episode. I'm going to leave this one off right here, and as usual, I'll thank you for watching, and until next time, bye for now.